হচ্ছে কিনা। হ্যাঁ, আসসালামু আলাইকুম। আপনাদের সবাইকে স্বাগতম এবং গুড ইভিনিং এভরিওয়ান। প্লিজ আপনাদের মাইকটা অফ রাখতে হবে প্লিজ। আমি প্রোগ্রামের শুরুতে সবার কাছে রিকোয়েস্ট করব আপনাদের মাইকটা অফ রাখার জন্য। ফিনটেকের আমাদের ট্রেনিদের নিয়মিত সাপোর্টের অংশ হিসেবে আমরা আজকে আয়োজন করেছি লিঙ্কডইন ওয়ার্কশপের। এই ওয়ার্কশপের জন্য আমরা পার্টনারশিপ করেছি মুম্বাইয়ের একটি প্রতিষ্ঠানের সাথে। সো আমাদেরকে আজকে এই ট্রেনিং এ আমাদের সাথে সহযোগিতা করবেন নিরাজ শাহ, ট্রেনার হিসেবে কাজ করবেন নিরাজ শাহ। এর সাথে ফিনটেক বিপিওর একটা স্ট্র্যাটেজিক পার্টনারশিপ হয়েছে। সেই পার্টনারশিপের আলোকে আমরা মূলত আজকের এই সাপোর্ট পেয়েছি এবং আজকের এই ওয়ার্কশপটি হচ্ছে। কাম ইন নিরাজ শাহ, are you here? Hi, Neeraj. Hi. I can see you now.
Hi there, everyone. Thanks so much, Nizam.
Hi. Thank you, Neeraj. Thank you very much for today. I would like to introduce you to my team, my students. So here, all of them are basically accounting backgrounds. They will work as a freelance accountants in global marketplace. So if you help us to how to get a lead and how to just enter in LinkedIn marketing area. So thank you again, Neeraj Shah. So I'll be happy if you introduce yourself.
Sure. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to pin myself in. Quick, in the chat, I just want to ask people if you can put in, are you currently on LinkedIn? Yes or no? Just yes or no. If you can just type in the chat, then it will give me an idea. Are you currently using LinkedIn? Many yeses. Okay. Yes. Okay. Very nice. Some no's. Okay. And then the other thing I wanted to know from you guys is, how often are you using LinkedIn? Are you a daily user, a weekly user, or a monthly user? So either write down daily, weekly, or monthly. Daily, weekly, or monthly. That will just let me know how intensely you're using LinkedIn right now. Daily, some are weekly. Okay. A lot of daily users, some weekly. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Awesome. Okay, what I'm going to do is let me share my screen. Okay, and we should get started with this. I'm going to help you supercharge your LinkedIn. This is how you're going to be able to attract and convert more high value clients using LinkedIn, and in just 15 minutes a day. So if you'd like more clients using LinkedIn in just 15 minutes a day, just type in clients. If you just type in clients, then I know you want more clients. Do you want more clients? Just type in yes. Okay. Lots of people saying yes, or you don't just type in clients. Very good. Okay. So this is exactly what we are going to be helping you do. Now, in case we have not yet met, my name is Neeraj Shah, and let me do this. I'm going to just share my LinkedIn URL in the chat as well, so that you can connect with me if you want. I've just put it in the chat, and for those of you who are watching this live on Facebook, okay, I'm going to show you how you can get in touch with me if you already have the app. Now, what I'm going to do is I will share my desktop so that I can keep switching from the different screens. So if you come to my profile, you should be able to see this, okay? and it has this yellow background. Okay, so look forward to drop me a little message saying that we have connected here on. Now, in case you're watching this live streamed on Facebook and you have your LinkedIn app, okay, I will show you how we can get in touch as well, okay? So if you go and launch your LinkedIn app, in the search bar, there's a little QR code. And if you tap that on the mobile and point it towards the screen, you and I can immediately get connected. Now, I have been in this business networking field for the last 18 years. I've been working with a lot of entrepreneurs, professionals, freelancers, and I started an organization called B&I Business Network International and grew it from 0 to 10,000 plus freelancers and business owners across India. So I've been in this networking field for a long time. I understood that both offline networking and online networking is going to be very important. And then particularly when COVID struck, I understood that people were going to shift their networking from being networking at events to networking online. And LinkedIn is the best place for you to do that. I work with both B2B type businesses and B2C type of businesses. And I help people win high value clients. You can get any type of client using LinkedIn. It is not just for B2B clients. It works for B2C as well. So you can see Ajit, who's from a signage business, is more B2B, whereas Dipti, who's a leadership coach, is dealing with individuals, okay? So it works for both types of people. So how active are you on LinkedIn, and why LinkedIn? We've already looked at that, but why LinkedIn? Let me share with you why you should be excited about LinkedIn if you're not already. First things first, the nearly 800 million plus users on LinkedIn now. In the last 10 years, it's seen a 10x growth. It is now owned by Microsoft. Microsoft ended up paying $26 billion for this particular platform. 71 million are in India, but you can see here, 174 million are in the US, 163 million are in Europe. And I suspect that a lot of you are looking at clients from the US and Europe. So there are a huge amount of people out there. The other great thing is that 4 out of 5 of the users are decision makers. So they're able to directly make a decision. And this is something really interesting. 44% of LinkedIn users earn more than $75,000. So they're high income earners and they drive decision, which is a fabulous combination to have. Next, it has great organic reach. What does that mean? You don't have to end up using the paid version of LinkedIn or using LinkedIn ads or anything like that. If you are going to be posting content on LinkedIn, then you can end up getting a lot of people viewing your posts and then reaching out to you. And lastly, this is super important. LinkedIn is hyper-targeted. That means that you can look for people in very specific types of businesses, specific job titles, all of these particular things. And I believe that's the reason why Microsoft ended up paying $26 billion. It is the world's #1 business network. All Fortune 500 type CXOs are here. Anyone who's serious about business is definitely on LinkedIn. In addition to that, it is the most trusted social media platform. Facebook is the least trusted, whereas LinkedIn is the most trusted, okay? And particularly because we deal with financial services and professional services, we want to be on a platform which is a high trust, okay? When we're talking about organic lead generation, you can see LinkedIn completely outperforms Twitter and Facebook. And this was a survey done by HubSpot for 5,198, both B2B and B2C type businesses. I operate on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And I've seen that despite being active on all of these, LinkedIn still has the best reach. You can see it outperforms both Facebook and Instagram. So LinkedIn presents an untapped business growth opportunities for entrepreneurs, professionals, and freelancers. Don't miss out on this opportunity because you don't know how to use LinkedIn. So when I look and ask people what stops them from using LinkedIn, there are typically three answers I get. Number one, they don't know how to be visible on LinkedIn. That means right now they are invisible on LinkedIn. Number two, if they're already visible and have a good profile, they don't know how to network, how to find the right people on LinkedIn. Lastly, and this is by far the biggest problem, they don't know how to monetize their network. Even if they have a good network on LinkedIn, they don't know how to turn that contact into a contract. And that is what I'm going to be focusing on, but all three are important. So let's look at three profit levers that will help you win on LinkedIn. The first thing, you will need to be able to stand out on LinkedIn. The next is you need to be able to grow your network quickly on LinkedIn with your perfect prospects. And finally, you need to be aware of how to monetize that network. So let's come to first things first. We need to help you build an all-star LinkedIn profile. This is the easiest and quickest way to become visible and credible on LinkedIn. If you have an all-star LinkedIn profile, it signals to LinkedIn that you are serious about LinkedIn, okay? So the question is, how do you become an all-star LinkedIn profile? And why should you optimize your profile for LinkedIn? First things first, Google is the #1 search engine out there. LinkedIn is completely optimized for Google. Therefore, if you were to search for your name on Google, it is very likely that your LinkedIn profile will come up in the first page and it will be at the top of the search ranking. Secondly, LinkedIn by itself is a search engine. People are constantly looking for service providers, and there are 6.7 billion searches being done on LinkedIn. The question is, are you turning up in the search when people type in accountancy or accountants or outsourced accountants or etc.? Okay? And lastly, when people are looking to do buyer research, you will be amazed, 67% of B2B buyers will check out your LinkedIn profile before buying. Therefore, if you are visible and active on LinkedIn, people will want to be doing business with you. They're more likely to trust you and therefore do business with you. I did this particular survey at the end of last year. You can see I was asking, is your LinkedIn profile more important than your resume or CV? 63% of people, and there were over 2,380 people that voted, said yes. So, there is definitely, and a lot of the top recruiters in the world also gave me that feedback. So it is important that you have a good LinkedIn profile. So there are 5 key parts that make a great LinkedIn profile. Your profile photo, your profile banner, your headline, about section, and recommendations. Let me quickly take you through some key do's and don'ts. First thing, the most important thing there is on your profile is your LinkedIn profile photo. A professional headshot receives 21 times more views, 9 times more connection requests, and 36 times more messages just by having a good profile headshot. What do they look like? This is what good profile headshots look like. So there are some key elements that I want you to get right. It is a passport format, so it is you are facing the camera, you're looking into the camera. About 60% of your face covers the circle. You are dressed appropriately. How would you dress if you were meeting your best #1 client? You need to have a you need to have a neutral background. You need to look in the camera, and very important, you need to smile, because when you are smiling and you look friendly, that is actually going to win trust. Okay, so this is very important. Now, there is a cool tool that I want to share, and I will share this particular link with you guys as well. It's called the photo analyzer. And let me do this. Just give me a second. I want to put it in the chat. If you just click on that particular link, it should take you to a page which looks like this. And when you click on analyze your LinkedIn photo, it will synchronize. You will have to put in your username and password, okay, and sign in. Okay, sign in to, and it will begin to analyze your photo. And you can see it's giving me a score out of 100. You want to be 70 or more. I have clients that are in the 80s, okay? So if you get this right, so again, this will help. This is using artificial intelligence. And if you come down below, and it's for free, it will tell you, all sorts of information that is there, okay? So this is the, cool thing that you can end up doing, okay? So I'm curious if you have just done this right now, what sort of score have you scored? If you can put in the chat, it'd be really interesting. And if you have a low score, don't worry about it. Now you know how you can easily get a good photo and rate it. If you manage to do it, then you can put in your score. I will continue with my presentation. Okay, photo mistakes not to make. Let's start from the top left-hand side, work across the top row, and then come to the bottom row. Okay, first on the left, no group photos, just you are the star. What's wrong with the second photo? I can't see the person's eyes, and it's too far in the distance. You want a close up, okay, and nothing covering, no shades, no sunglasses. Okay. Last one at the top, no mean and moody photo. That might look good in a, I don't know, photography competition, but here it needs to be well lit. You need to be looking in the camera and smiling, okay? If you look at bottom left-hand side, again, it's a business network, so you want to be appropriately dressed, okay? So even if you look great on your wedding day, in your wedding dress. Bottom middle, and then bottom right, no other photos, landscape or logos of your company. We need a photo of you. Okay, next, a LinkedIn profile banner. What is the LinkedIn profile banner? It is this particular thing, imagine it's like a billboard that LinkedIn gives you, and most people leave it blank, okay? So there are a couple of key things that you want here. So this is one of my clients. He's a financial advisor and a stockbroker. So just above his own photo, he has his logo. Then to the top, in the right-hand side, it says, who does he help? Helping senior corporate professionals and business owners create wealth. And then he has two key words, stockbroker and financial planner. Those are the key words that he wants to be known for, okay? So you're using this not only to brand yourself, but to clearly convey to people who do you help and how do you help them, okay? Here, this is Lena. She is into the gifting side, so your local corporate gift house. So she's mentioned that there. This is mine, to Supercharge your LinkedIn, helping experts, coaches, and consultants win $10,000 plus clients using LinkedIn. So again, these are great examples. The mistake is leaving it blank, because after they see your profile photo, this is the next thing that they're going to see. If you branded it correctly, it will help you build credibility fast. Okay, so 2 action points here. Update your optimized profile photo and update your banner to amplify your credibility. Okay, now let's carry on. The next is your LinkedIn profile headline. This is one of the most visible parts of your LinkedIn profile and a major factor in LinkedIn's search algorithm. Like any other tool out there, like social media platform, okay? It is, sorry, just give me a second. Okay, it is driven by an algorithm. So the headline, and I'll show you what the headline is. If you use the right key search terms, then you will begin to feature highly on LinkedIn's search. So what is it? It is basically what comes underneath your name. And you can see here, I've used key search terms, LinkedIn lead generation, LinkedIn strategy, your LinkedIn expert, etc. Okay. The first 3 lines the first line is the most important, because if you leave a comment on someone else's post, they will typically only see the first line, okay? Do not use your name and your job title, okay? You could at the end also put, I help, who do you help, and what's the end result that you help them with, okay? That is, again, optional, but I prefer having this more in the profile banner than in the profile headline, okay? In the profile headline, I would rather use key search terms. What are key search terms that you want to be found for, okay? Very important. Okay, so mistakes you want to avoid. Don't use your company name, don't use your job title, don't use industry jargon, okay? So you can revise your headline, and you can have up to 260 characters. Each letter and space is a character, okay? So everything on LinkedIn is in terms of characters, not in terms of words. So this would be action point number 3 for you to revise. Okay, next, let's come to your about section. The about section is where normally people write it up like some sort of CV, okay? When it used to be more as a CV or a resume type network, it is no longer. It is now a proper business network, and you've got to, use some key things here. So you need to use short paragraphs. You need to use the full length. You can have up to 2,800 characters. So you want to use things like bullet points. So, like kinds of services you provide. You should use keywords. Again, this will help you rank better on search. You should use things like icons, emojis to help make it easy for people to read. And there should be a very clear call to action at the end. What's the next step you want them to take? And lastly, it must be prospect facing. So in my case, I have some key headlines there, which is in my about section, which is what I do, how I do it, why what I do works, services I provide, where have you seen me before, and the types of businesses that I work with, what are others saying about me, and then ready to talk, what's the next action step. Again, the about section should amplify your authority, credibility, and expertise. If someone reads it, they must think, yes, this person is able to solve key problems I have. They are an expert. It's like a sales page, okay? Think of this like a one-page website, okay? And it has these key elements in place. Mistakes that people end up making, don't use it as your CV. Don't use industry jargon. Don't write in third person. Write things like I am, not like Neeraj is. Use all 2,600 characters. Actually, I think they've now been increased to 2,800. And finally, people may have all of that, but then miss a call to action. Give them very specifically at the end how you want them to reach out to you. Is this, send you a message on LinkedIn or email you, etc. Just be clear about that. Lastly, social proof is one of the most powerful ways of letting others know that you are good. Instead of me saying I'm good, if there are lots of other people who say I'm good, then that carries much more weight. And the way in which you can do that on LinkedIn is via LinkedIn recommendation. So like how you get reviews on Google, LinkedIn has LinkedIn recommendations. So here, you can see an idea of a recommendation. And you can see I have more than 70 plus recommendations. So when someone is looking at should I work with you or not, having lots of positive recommendations really, really helps in converting. So how do you get a recommendation? If you click on ask a recommendation, it will take you through a series of questions which will help you ask someone. You need to be connected to that person on LinkedIn first, and then you can ask them for a LinkedIn.
Okay, I found this on the web first, sir.
Okay, sorry about that. So you can think of 5 current or past clients who are satisfied. Make sure you are connected to them on LinkedIn and request a LinkedIn recommendation. Okay, that would be a good place for you to start. I want to just check in with everyone on the webinar. Is everything that I'm covering making sense to you? If you can type in yes or no or whatever, just give me some feedback.
It's going on very well. Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Okay, good, good. Just making sure everyone is with me. I'm sorry if I'm going fast.
No, it's okay, sir.
Okay, cool. So let's keep it moving on. Thank you so much for your feedback. So these are 5 key things that you can do to help you move your LinkedIn profile and make it a better LinkedIn profile and become a lot more visible. Your profile photo, your profile banner, your headline, the about section, and recommendations. Now, I know I've covered a lot. I'd like to give you a small little gift, okay, that will immediately help you get much better. There are 8 specific other things, that you can do. So if you go to this particular, take a screenshot or something like this, lp.neerajshah.me, then you can download this. Just give your name and your email ID, and we will send you an email with a little guide with examples to help you, really put together an awesome LinkedIn profile. Okay, so lp.neerajshah.me is where you can end up getting that. Maybe just take a screenshot and save this for later.
So is it on your LinkedIn or?
It is also on my LinkedIn, but if you, this is on my website. So, if you specifically type in lp.neerajshah.me, then you'll be able to get that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I will share that again at the end. But right now, let me move on to some other things as well. Okay, next, how do we help you find your perfect prospects and engage them on LinkedIn? So first things first, we have to know how to use search, okay? And then we have to visit their profiles and check out what they are into, understand some things that are commonalities, build trust with them, and then we can engage with their posts, and this will help us become visible and credible very quickly. So identify your target audience, gather intelligence, and then make yourself visible. Okay, so let me just show you how you can do that. Okay, so here, if you look at the top here next to I'm in LinkedIn now, and if you see there's a search bar. Okay, so now say you want to connect to someone who is a business owner. Okay, so if you type in business owner, okay, it will then show you all sorts of people who are using business owner. Okay, now if I click on people, it begins to show you there are currently 2.3 million people that are using the word business owner. Now, take for example that I'm looking for people who in the US are business owners. So I add location and I say show results, okay? And you can see here 1.1 million results, okay? So you can get more specific and say, look, I'm looking for business owners only in New York or Los Angeles or wherever, okay? So this is how you can begin to use search, and this is on the free version of LinkedIn. This is, you don't even need to do this on the paid version of LinkedIn, okay? So this is a very easy way. And then say you like, it will show you all the people that you already connected via, some mutual connections it will show. So say I check this person's profile out, then I can begin to see, okay, what do they do? They're into graphics. I can begin to see what they do. I think they're into graphic design. Yeah, so awesome. Okay, so I can see a little bit about them. And this helps me begin to start conversations. Okay, now say I check out Tony's. So here, I can see, and if I click on show all his activity, I can see whether he has been active on LinkedIn. Okay, so here, it seems he's been active. So this is good. So I can then begin to connect with him, and I can say, hey, we have this person. I can see here, Stasia Robinson is someone who's a mutual connection, and say, hey, you and I seem to know Stasia. I wanted to reach out. I work with business owners, help them with their accounting, whatever the case may be. Alrighty, okay, so that's a very easy, simple way in which you can begin to find the right people. Now, the mistake that most people end up making, as soon as they connect with someone, that person accepts their connection request, they immediately send them a message telling them, oh, I'm an outsourced accounting person. Do you need my accounting services? That is immediately selling. Think of it like this, okay? Imagine you are meeting someone new and immediately, instead of asking them out for a coffee or something, you just ask them to marry you. It's like asking a stranger to marry you. Okay.
Very funny thing.
So, it's not going to work out very well. Okay, so don't do that. People are going to wonder, who are you? Why should I care? So don't sell immediately. So what you want to do is you want to engage with them before connecting. You want to comment, you want to visit their profile, you want to see if there's some things that you have in common. Say, hey, just start a conversation. Okay, see the kind of groups that they're part of. If they've liked any articles, what kind of articles do they read? What's their previous business that they've done, or jobs that they've done? And say, hey, I see you've started your business and you've owned your own business for the last 7 years. I'd like to learn more about your business. That's a very easy, simple question that most people would like to answer, okay? And if you send a personalized connection request, it's always better. Send, a reason saying, hey, I was searching for business owners in the US or in New York, and your profile stood out. I'd like to connect and add you to your own LinkedIn network. Just a simple personalized connection request like that will help you get a lot more people accepted. So a couple of key things: identify 5 people you want to network with, visit their profiles, gather intelligence, engage with their post, or send them a meaningful direct message, okay, which starts a conversation. Alrighty, now let's come to the third part. How do we end up monetizing your network? And the easiest way to do that, okay, I'm going to show you the #1 way in which you can generate high value leads, opportunities, and sales, okay? And social selling on LinkedIn is all about people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. You can't jump from know to trust immediately. You have to have that in-between process where they get to like you. So it is in sequence: know, like, and trust. And another way to look at it is, first, you've got to become visible to these people. Then you've got to share some expertise, which makes you credible, that you understand accounting, you understand the kind of problems that they face, you're able to give them solutions, which make sense to them. And then you want to invite them to have a further conversation about your services. That's what leads to profitability. So in effect, there are 5 key steps that turn connections into clients. it is a question of know, then go to like, then go to trust, then go to qualify, and then becomes clients. So the first thing that I would say is, what do you want to be known for on LinkedIn? What are just, one or two key things that you want to be known for? Because if you talk about those things regularly, people will remember you for that. And when I remember you for that, when I require your product or service, I will reach out to you. Or I'm likely to refer you to someone who requires your product or service because I begin to like you and also trust you. And the easiest way to do that is through posting valuable content. Posting on LinkedIn will help you start conversations. You will be able to share value. You will be able to build trust by sharing in-depth understanding and demonstrate your expertise. It will help you develop relationships so you don't always have to be posting. You can also comment on other people's posts and leave something meaningful. And finally, when you invite people to say, hey, do you need any help with your accounting? That's what will generate business for you, okay? So let me show you some examples of posts. And here's a simple quote that I found inspiring. And never let success get to your head and never let failure get to your heart. Great. Here's a rapper, I think Canadian rapper. And you can see that had like 10,432 views. I mean, that's incredible. And there is no image or anything. It's just text. And it's just a short piece of text. I've not even come up with the post. The quote someone else has. I just put it in my post. So this is a short content post. This is a slightly longer text-only post where, it's a couple of paragraphs. And I've shared some highlights and how, the kind of clients I work with. And at the end of it, there's a little call to action with saying, if you'd like to attend a exclusive mastermind meeting, then reach out to me, type mastermind below. So anyone who typed mastermind, then I know is interested, and this generated not only leads for me, but direct clients. Okay, next, I talk a lot about marketing. So here, I've taken a marketing quote by a famous person, Reid Hoffman, who is the founder of LinkedIn. And then I have put in a couple of paragraphs about marketing, about my take about his quote. And this became a trending post on marketing on LinkedIn. That means that it was one of the top 5% of posts for something that I want to be known for. And, again, this got tens of thousands of views. Okay. So you don't have to come up with original content, but you can at least come up with your original thought process related to, say, accounting, finance, things like that, typical challenges that your target market faces. Video posts were doing very well before. They still do well, but you want short videos, okay? And you want less than 60 seconds. And you want things that are loaded directly onto LinkedIn. That means you have to load the video directly onto the LinkedIn server rather than having a YouTube link or something like that. YouTube is owned by Google. LinkedIn is owned by Microsoft. Microsoft and LinkedIn are competitors. So LinkedIn doesn't want to have you sending traffic to YouTube. Okay, so just helping you understand that.
Yeah.
Next, document post. What's a document post? On Instagram, these carousel posts, where you swipe them to the right and, it's like a little slide deck. Okay, so on LinkedIn, they call them document posts. Why? Because you have to upload them as a PDF. So all of the slides, you have to actually upload as a PDF. And that's why they call documents slides. So here, You can see this, how to turn strangers into happy, high-value clients. A guide to social selling got some 75,000 views, 96 likes, and 23 comments. Polls are great. So this was the poll that I'd shown you, which is your LinkedIn profile more important than your resume or CV? And not only that, you can see there, if you'd like my ultimate LinkedIn profile checklist to help you shine, then type checklist below. And tons of people ended up signing checklists, and I got leads. So you know, I had 110,000 people view this post, 2,380 people vote on it, and I got tens of leads from this post. So it worked really well. Okay, some other thing, just to let you know that, just give me a second. Someone's trying to call me. One very important distinction I want you to know, even though this is a business network, and primarily the people on this are business, they would love to get to know you personally. You can see here, this is my lovely wife, and we were celebrating our 14th wedding anniversary, and I put a little post about that. This by itself got some, 244 likes and 16,000 views. So it is just, it's amazing. People would like to know you both personally and professionally. Lastly, there's the 60-30-10 rule that I have. It's 60% should be inspirational, positive content, 30% should be educational, 10% should be promotional. I see far too many people trying to put too many promotional posts and not enough educational or inspirational. Now, it's not a hard and fast rule, but I've seen tremendous success with this. Okay, so some key action points. Post, you don't need to post every day on LinkedIn. Just post 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Post during working hours. Typically, I post in the mornings. And if relevant, you can tag some relevant people. So people already in your network that you know are active on LinkedIn and you'd like them to comment, you can tag them. Okay. So I hope people have got excited by this short, brief introduction. And now are thinking, yes, LinkedIn is for me. Okay. And if we're not already connected, then you can take a screenshot of this. My email ID is there. My WhatsApp number is there. You can reach out to me on here. And you can also get this. Let me just put this little thing in the chat as well, so you can get this. Give me a second. There you go. Okay, I just put this in the chat so you can get that. Alrighty. So I am kind of done whatever I wanted to cover. And if you now have questions, or Nizam, if you'd like to moderate with questions, I'm happy to answer some questions.
Thank you, Niraj, for your very excellent presentation. I believe everyone enjoyed the session. Yeah, well, including myself, I enjoyed the session thoroughly. Okay, if you have any questions, please, you can raise your hands or you can ask straight away. Yeah, any question?
I have one question. Actually,
Please.
please tell me about more about call to action button. Actually, how the call to action button is redirected and from where it is redirected.
There is no call to action button that you can have. All you have to say is that, okay, if you want people to reach out to you via email, then say email me at, and then, put your email ID there specifically. If you want them to reach out to you on LinkedIn, then say, connect with me here on LinkedIn and send me a direct message. So, that is there. So I'll just show you on my screen. Give me a second. Okay, so if I go, let me go back to my profile. Give me a second. It's just loading. I don't know what's happening. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Okay. If you see here in my about section, here, ready to talk, connect with me here on LinkedIn. And then, like if you want to book a virtual coffee at a time that works for you, I'm giving a very specific website. So either connect with me or go to this particular website, okay? It's not a hyperlink. Someone will have to actually copy and paste it, okay? So that is the thing. So I hope this is making sense.
Sir, could you please repeat the 60-30-10 formula, success formula?
60% should be inspirational posts. 30% should be educational posts related to your expertise. And 10% should be promotional posts where you're actually inviting people to work with you, or you're selling your services.
So inspiration is 60%.
Yeah. And most people do it the other way around. I see too many people doing 90% promotional and 10% inspirational.
Could you please give us a sample of first-time communication with a business owner or a proprietor?
Sorry, what was that?
First-time communication with a business owner in USA or somewhere else in Europe from our subcontinent. How can I approach him?
I just showed you how you can search for people using LinkedIn search, where we put inverted commas, business owner in the search. And then, you just want to look at what specific location you want.
Yeah, I got the searching point, but I'm talking about the first-time communication approach. What should be my approach?
And Niraj, I think he wants to know actually how he introduced himself very first time.
So you have to first send them a connection request. And you have to say, hey, I was looking for business owners to connect with. I found your profile and I found it interesting. So I wanted to connect with you. Just a simple message like that. And if they accept your connection request, then at least you know that they're positive and open to receiving that connection request. LinkedIn only allows you to send out 100 connection requests per week. So you can't you can't end up you can't end up sending more than that. Okay, so I hope this makes sense, and that's why I'm saying that once you've done search, go check out their profile and see whether they're active on LinkedIn. And if you go to the activity section, then you'll know whether they're active on LinkedIn. Do you have any common connections? Because it's easier to connect to someone who you have some connections to.
Yes, if he is interested, he can go to my profile and check out my expertise.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
But
what is the use of hashtag?
Any more questions?
Actually, use of hashtag. What is the pros and cons of use of hashtag?
Hashtags will help your content to be found easier by LinkedIn. Okay. In 2018, LinkedIn had introduced hashtags. I recommend only 3 to 5 hashtags. And say if you are doing content related to accountancy, so then if you use a hashtag accountancy, then people will be able to find it. So let me show you here. Like say, if I do accounting, okay, hashtag accounting, if I search for it, okay, so it is showing me now, in this case, all posts there where people have been mentioning accounting. Okay, this shows you companies that are using that. And then finally, these are people who talk about hashtag accounting. Okay, so if you want to know how many people are searching using this particular hashtag, it should also tell you that. This is not like Instagram where you use 20 hashtags or something like that. That's not going to help you. LinkedIn just looks at. So here you can see someone has ended up creating a post related to accounting, and they've used it here. Okay. So it also gives you, like what have they searched for? So finance, various other things that they would have ended up searching for. Okay. So typically you're also able to find out the number of people that are searching for this hashtag. So if I click on accounting life, here you can see the number of followers that it has. Okay, so a hashtag which has at least 100,000 or more would be better. So you want a combination of wide hashtags and narrow hashtags. Okay, so at least the first two should be wide. So then at least your post, it should be talking about that, and it should give you a wider reach. Okay, so this is a simple way in which you can know. There's a Chrome plugin called LinkedIn Hashtags, which will allow you to know how many hashtags, how many followers does the hashtag have. Okay, it's a Chrome plugin, and it's just LinkedIn Hashtags. Great question.
Okay, any more questions? Okay.
Yes, I have one question.
Please.
Good evening,
Please go
Mr.
on.
Liraz.
Hi.
Yeah. My question is, to be visible in LinkedIn, do I have to post every day? Every time, like you said, that 3 times in a week, or I have lots of connection. Is it connections enough, or do I have to post in LinkedIn?
If you are posting, first you need to have a profile which is a good profile in the way that I've shown you. It needs to be set up. Secondly, if you are posting, there are only 5% of users that are posting on LinkedIn. Therefore, if you are one of the 5% that are posting on LinkedIn, then you are going to suddenly become visible to the 95% of people that are not posting. So is that an easy way for you to become visible? Now, you don't need to post every day. You just need to post 3 times a week because it has great organic reach. So
for visibility, I have to post sometimes.
You have to post.
Okay.
You know, how often do you want to be visible? I want to be visible every week. You know, and if you don't post every week, then you are invisible. The opposite of visible is invisible. So you decide, do you want your business to be invisible?
Yeah.
I think you suggest 3 times in a week, right?
Yeah. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays works well for me.
Yeah.
Hi, Neeraj. This is Salma.
Hi there.
I want to ask you about some. Can you explain some again the banner, LinkedIn banner?
LinkedIn banner should have a visual because we process visual information 60,000 times faster than text. And it should have a striking visual, and in the visual, the text should be who do you help and how do you help that target market. So then it quickly gets across to people without wasting time who you are and how do you help.
Okay, thank you.
What are the uses of follow? What are the uses of follow and connections? Why use follow or why use connection?
Okay, this is a more advanced question. So there is something called LinkedIn creator mode. Okay, LinkedIn, because only 5% of people are posting, they want more people creating content. They want to attract, creators from, from Instagram, from YouTube, from other platforms to become active. So they have launched something called creator mode. Okay. And if you switch on creator mode, okay, then one of the first things that happens is that instead of the connect to button, it becomes a follow button. Why? Because LinkedIn only allows you to have up to 30,000 first degree connections. Okay. Therefore, if you are someone who produces content regularly, it has a little follow button. Okay. And immediately someone can become a follower and you can begin to grow your number of followers very quickly. And therefore you will get a lot more followers. And if you're producing valuable content, you want a lot of followers, okay? And a lot of those people can actually end up becoming clients. It just makes it easy for you to build up your audience, okay? But if you're not gonna be producing content regularly, then I would suggest that you don't end up, don't end up, switching on creator mode. Okay, wait until you are regularly creating content.
And how often you have to share new content?
as I mentioned, 3 times a week is all that's required. This is not like Twitter where you have to post multiple times a day. In fact, posting multiple times a day on LinkedIn will hurt your LinkedIn views. Guys, I have 2 more minutes. I have another. I have to go somewhere else.
Yeah, thank you, Niraj. I think we got all the answers. Thank you very much.
He's had his hand up. I think Christine, if you can just ask your question, please, and let that be the last question.
Well,
please.
Posting content, does it mean the content has to be mine, or I can share any on others' content or anything motivational from any other website?
That's why I was showing you a post that are not even my own content, okay? But it's always important that you give due credit to someone. So don't steal someone's content, okay? Tag that person and give credit to them and say, look, if you want to find out more about this person, follow them. I think that is good to have, okay? So you can end up curating, but then remember, if you keep on always talk about other people, okay, people won't see you as an expert. At some point in time or the other, you've got to start sharing your expertise.
So you mean to say that I have to be active? I have to have some activities three times a week.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone who joined the program today. I think that was the very first time LinkedIn is like a step in program. So from today, you'll understand what the importance of LinkedIn marketing. And thank you, Niraj, from the bottom of our heart. We are really grateful to you for your kind support. And you join from all the way from Mumbai. We believe our partnership can do more. Thank you very much, Niraj. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today.
Thank you, everyone. I look forward to connecting you via LinkedIn. Okay?
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.
See you again.